It's Michelle Hall here again with ParkBenchTeam.com, and I'm with Bryson from EveryMan, and you're at 713 South Main in Stillwater, and we're going to be asking you questions about this business. Starting with, can you describe for our viewers your business here?
Yeah, so I mean, right now what we are is we do menswear, anything from underwear to custom clothing. We do barbering, old school, classic barbering, finishing everything with a straight razor, and we do craft coffee. So we have really good relationships with what we think are the best roasters in the state of Oklahoma. So we bring in a new coffee every week. We redo our entire menu, and then we've actually started roasting ourselves. So just kind of like a man sanctuary.
Okay, men's sanctuary.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that. And can you tell our viewers what led you to open this particular business?
Sure. Well, I'll try and give a short answer to what could definitely be a long answer. You know, always like to dress well. I didn't have a strong male dad influence in my life, but the things that I do remember about my dad is that he was always well dressed. He always had a hair comb in his pocket. He always, you know, had tonic in his hair. You know, so I always kind of grew up appreciating that. And as I've gotten older and seen kind of the male experience becoming different, I wanted to create a place that really got back to the roots of, you know, that male experience. And so I knew I wanted to create a business that did coffee really well, barbering really well, eventually alcohol, good whiskey, and menswear. And so from there it just became, where do we start?
Yeah.
That's a longer story.
Okay. Well, that might lead us to some of our other questions. What motivates and drives you? I think you probably already addressed some of that.
Yeah, you know, the fundamental tenet of this business is give back. You know, our mission, we say, is haberdashery with give back, which is kind of like menswear, this male experience with give back. I didn't grow up with a dad figure. I have a son myself now. I know how important it is for young boys to have, and young girls to have strong male influence in their life. So I want whatever we did to do something to help resolve the fatherless issue in America. That's a big undertaking, but
it is, but it sounds like you're doing your part.
We're doing a little bit.
Yes.
We want to do more, but
you recognize the need,
yes,
and you haven't waited on someone else to solve the problem.
In a way, we do kind of. So what we do now is we find organizations that mentor to young boys in a good way, in a profound way. We partner with them, and what that looks like is we feature them on our website, we actively promote them via our social media avenues, and then every month we make a small donation to them every single month. And we commit to doing that as long as we're in business. So unless we go out of business, they have our pledge that we're always going to give to them, and then our goal is, as we grow, to grow that give back. So if you go to our website, EveryManShop.com, and click on give back, you can see we've got about 8 or 9 of those organizations that are focused in on mentoring boys that are getting our support every month.
That is a tremendous mission.
It is. It's huge. It's huge. You know, it's strange in a country like America how profound is just the best word. How profound the gap is in, you know, children without fathers in the home. It's crazy, and it affects kids.
Well, I'm anxious to go to your website. Just as a side note, my husband and I are trying to adopt from DHS custody a young boy.
Okay.
So I am totally getting what you're saying.
We adopted. My wife and I did.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a 4-year-old now.
Wow.
We went through a private agency.
Wow. Okay. So, how long have you been in business in this location?
In this location, we opened in the last weekend of August 2016. So it's been over 2 years, which is crazy. It's crazy. But, you know, we had very humble beginnings. You know, we had this huge idea, and you know, we went to a bank to get this massive loan, not having a clue what we were doing, and quickly found out that if this is a good idea, it needs to be good because it's a good idea, not because we got a huge loan. And so we actually took $1,000 that I had gotten as a gift from someone, and we bought our first inventory of neckties and dress socks, and we put them in a barber shop down the street. And we started selling neckties and socks there, and people started to buy them on occasion. I remember we'd get like a $10 sale. And we did well enough there that we started leasing a small room at Butterbean Children's Boutique down there. And so we expanded a little bit. And then there was a women's boutique called Pearl Junkie that came across us and invited us into their space to do a men's concept. So we did a little bit more until we were finally able to come over here. So we were celebrating the $5 and $10 sales for years as we tried to kind of figure out what this model looked like. So, yeah. And this isn't where we want to end up. We got much bigger.
Well, we're going to talk about that then in a minute.
Okay.
What do you love most about the Stillwater community? You started in Stillwater.
Sure.
Why? What do you love and what keeps you here?
Well, I was born and raised in Stillwater. So I was born and raised here. And I remember when I was in high school, especially, I don't really remember coming downtown. I remember my mom would drag us here. There was a department store called Katz on the corner up there on 7th and Main, and she'd drag us in there, but I don't really remember much about downtown. And so whenever we really had this idea, we were thinking about where it's best served, because we have family in Oklahoma City as well. And Stillwater didn't have a good men's concept. We weren't seeing a ton of high-quality men's grooming and barbering options. Our approach to coffee is a little bit different than anybody else's, and then eventually we think our approach to whiskey and beer is a little bit different too. So we thought, oh boy, there's nothing like
There's a void here for what you envision.
Sure.
And so just let it fit.
And it's our hometown. So, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, how has your business changed? I guess you kind of addressed that with the first you were in a barber shop selling cool socks.
Sure.
And then you didn't lose heart and you celebrated what came along as it came in.
Sure.
And didn't lose focus of where you wanted to be. And now you're here, but this still isn't
Yeah, no, you're right.
Everything?
No, you're right. We have since the beginning stayed laser focused on where we want to be, and totally embraced that it's not going to look like that for a long time. We get that. And so, we've kind of grown from the barbershop to a children's store to a women's store to here. Even when we got in here, when we opened this space, all we had was a little bit of menswear and some coffee. We didn't have barbering at all. We had to wait over a year before we kind of had the money in place to build out that space back there. And even now, we can't do the alcohol presence we really want to do in this space. That's why we're looking forward into the future. So we've always known since 2014 when we started selling neckties in the barbershop that it was going to be a gradual process. We're totally playing the long game. We're cool with that. We don't need to be an overnight success. So we know that there's a bunch more steps that we got to take to get where we want to be, and we're excited that we feel like we're in the latter stages of that. We're getting closer.
I can feel that excitement. I'm excited for you. What do you hear your customers say that they love most about shopping here with you, whether it's in the barbershop or your coffee?
We're always open to feedback. We're not too arrogant enough to think that we've got it all figured out. I think people like the uniqueness of the concept, being able to come in, shop for a pair of dress shoes, grab a coffee and a shave.
Yes.
Kind of cool. But I have to say, to me as the owner, my focus for the past 6 months and probably going forward into perpetuity is on the people. The people that we hire here, I think, are just the best. We hire a lot of students, are the best student employees Stillwater has. I've got to say it. But we're getting into a point where we're starting to bring on more full-timers. And I think ultimately, in today's retail environment, you're not selling a cup of coffee, you're not selling a whiskey, you're not selling a shoe, you're selling your people. The people, that's people in the experience. Yeah, people come back for that. If we make sure that we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's, and we have a good product, we're well merchandised, we're knowledgeable, like people expect that as a base. But if you can add the personalities of a Matt Sapping dinner, any of our guys that work back here, that's the secret sauce. So I think, and I want to hope that people just keep coming back.
I think you have read some of these questions. That is a segue into how do you motivate and encourage your staff?
It's hard. It's really, the people part is the hardest, and so I don't think I'm a success story. I think that I still have things I don't do well. I think that as the years go on, I'm putting less, this sounds terrible, but I'm putting less and less focus on hiring and more emphasis on firing, and losing your job here. We've had to let a few people go, but it's not a, you're fired, get out of here thing. It's like, man, love you, come back, let's have a cup of coffee. Like, I'll use me as a reference if it's appropriate, but just not the right person and right dynamic. Love that. Yes. And so it's been hard to find those right people. It is terribly difficult to find a good person who feels as strongly about your baby as you do. I honestly think it's impossible. But if you can find those right people that are willing to engage with your customers and then are trainable, that's what I'm looking for. And so, yeah, I think that answers it.
Yeah, that does a great job answering my question. But then that made me think of one that's not in my deck. Do you feel since your mission is to mentor boys and men, do you find yourself as an employer seeing where you can mentor these men as they can
I would say two things. We've got a lot of ladies that work for us. so not definitely don't have to do that. Sure.
Okay.
No, but especially I look. It's weird because in my head, I don't know if you're like this. In my head, I'm still a very young person.
Oh yes.
But working in this town where you get a year older every year and all your employees stay the same age, especially when I see pictures of myself with them,
yes.
I'm like, man, I'm older. They're young, So I try to put myself in their situation. If I'm working a job for what we pay, which is not great, but for what we pay, what kind of value can I add? What can I add? And so I try to impart knowledge. I implore them to bring me questions to tell me where they think I'm missing the boat, this place is missing the boat, and then I just try and pour into them in ways that I knew I would have wanted to be poured in. So that's knowledge, of course, experience, of course, but it's also a pizza. It's also, we like to do something every semester where we take them outside of the store. So we do a staff excursion every semester.
Like a team building.
Yeah. So, but we don't do a ton of team building. We just hang out.
Yeah.
We just hang out. And I guess sometimes it is. So, last semester we all went. Yeah. Last semester we all went paintballing, and then went out for beer afterwards. We've done an escape room together before, and so. Although you might be getting paid a little bit better than minimum wage, I think the experience you get working here, and hopefully the family, the community that we build, makes it worth it.
Yeah, I can see that.
As we grow, we may be in a position where we want these part-time college students to turn into full-time employees. That would be great.
And it sounds to me like one of the things, you didn't say this, one of the things that might motivate your staff is just that you're approachable. You said you want to be
I try to be. I've been told that I'm a tall guy. I don't always wear facial hair, and I feel like when I'm not smiling, I look kind of mean, So they've told me this, so I'm trying to smile more. Yes, I'm trying to smile more.
Okay, and then our last question, I guess, is you've kind of given us a peek of this, but over the next 12 months, what do you see being different about EveryMan?
I guess a couple things. I hope we continue to get better. We have things that we're not great at right now still. We have things that we need to fine tune. I'm sure that things will pop up that will be new to us that we need to explore. So I really, in the next 12 months, really want to refine some of our processes. I anticipate that we'll be hiring our first non-barber full-time employee, which we haven't had before. So a full-time employee, really, I'm getting to the point where I need some consistency and persistency here in the store, and I'm not here every day. And so we'll be hiring that first full-time person I'm excited about in the next 12 months. And then, listen, our end goal was this just expansive space that, let's just take each individual pillar. Coffee. We want to roast it ourselves. We're doing that a little bit already. We want to have the most dynamic coffee experience in this part of Oklahoma. We look at ourselves as curators. We want to invite people in to really explore coffee, so that presence in a new space is going to be big. We want our barbering experience to be unparalleled. We want the products we're using, the training that we're going through, all to echo the quality that we think we can deliver. We want our menswear to expand. We want to have a good, better, best. We want to have entry-level lines. We want to have high-end lines. We really want to blow up our custom clothing options and get guys into the best fitting clothing, because when you dress really well and you feel good in it, you feel good about yourself.
Yes.
It just changes.
That is with women too.
Yes. And sometimes guys just don't know. We don't know. And so growing that part of our business, growing our formal wear business,